You are now listening to ReligionWinked TV's podcast,
All day long.
where you can get all your spirituality. Alright, guys, so I wanted to come back on here real quickly and give you a brief update. Actually, it was a part of the video, the ex NFL running back, Zac Stacy. Well, this is an extra article I came up with, but I wanted to keep it separately because I wanted to show you guys that this woman immediately did not show up in court, y'all. For some reason, she was fearing for her life. Let's give her that much, okay? Definitely. But I came across something that says she did not show up for court. And well, let me just tell you this, right? So the ex-girlfriend, we'll call her Miss Evans, all right? Because I still don't know her first name through all I've been through with her. So the ex-girlfriend of Zac Stacy, she testified Wednesday. And remember, this all took place already, that she fears for her and her two children's safety. And we didn't even know she had a child in the first one, right? I'm just now learning she has a second child. So, and this is weird. It says she testifies after allegedly being violently assaulted by Stacy on November 13th in Oakland, Florida. Was she allegedly violated and abused? Or was she violated and assaulted and abused? So here's a quote she goes on to say, y'all. I was punched, slapped, literally picked up and thrown into my TV. And then he picked me up and slammed me into my son's bouncy seat by my throat. This is not the first time he has been violent with me. I am afraid for my safety and for my children's safety. Kristen Evans is her name. And she told this to the Ninth Circuit Judge, Mark S. Bleckman. Now, afraid for your life. You've been with this guy 2 years, or give or take, since 2019. I am almost certain, like I said, that he's done this to her before, or they fought before. It's just on camera. We didn't see her swinging back, And ladies, it is a shame. What I want to say here is, what do you do in a situation like that? Do you just let a man beat on you, or do you try to fight back? Or do you get submissive in hopes that he will stop? Or do you get submissive and allow him to beat you to death? I'm just asking these questions because domestic violence is on the rise. Everybody is getting beat down, beat up, left and right around the world. And in a joint motion filed by the Office of the State Attorney, Evans, the two of them together, they're in joint, cahoots here. Not cahoots, but they're working together. On November 19th, Evans said that she specifically fears for her life. And I can imagine that whooping. I mean, I'd have been afraid for my life the first time it happened, to the point where it wouldn't have got to what we saw on video, And again, you guys can go check those links out in the other video I did prior to this one, and it will give you all the accounts up until his first court appearance as to what really happened, and my own personal opinion and commentary on it. So she posted a graphic video again with the incident on Instagram, and has publicly called the NFL to confront the reality that players are experiencing PTSD from their time playing pro football. Is it this? We don't know. And it's possible, and it is true, that some people suffer brain injuries, all kinds of medical issues from playing football, from being in the league at one point, and then when your career is over, you can't get signed, you're a free agent, nobody wants you. That depression part of it comes, and everything else, right? and just from physically being hit and just, the contact sport of it all. Some people take that home and apply that same contact and pressure to their spouse. So, what do you guys think about this so far? We are going to hear that Evans says she intended to testify during Stacy's initial court appearance, which was on November 19th. And remember, I let you guys hear in that video that the judge said, well, she's supposed to be on the phone. I want to give her time, an opportunity to speak. And she never really showed up at the first court appearance via phone. She said she was not able to make it after the hearing began earlier than scheduled. Now, again, I don't know what time the hearing was to be scheduled. I don't know if it is true or not. But what I do know is so many women get to this point where they're fed up and tired of their man beating on them, and then they'll run for help and they'll ask for help and cry wolf and, really seek help. Because it's a frightening thing to have a man or a woman beat on you all the time. But then when it comes time to go to court, they'll do the arrest. They'll get the restraining order. Some women will get beat up by a man, get a restraining order, and then go back to this man. Other women, they'll get the restraining order, stay away from the man a little bit, but when it's time to testify and go to court, they're a no-show. But she did eventually end up testifying. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention and let you know that there is another child involved. But I do believe maybe the 5-month-old is his. I'm not sure. I know the 5-month-old because when he was in court, he said he is Stacy Sr. So he has a junior. And I'm almost thinking it's the 5-month-old child possibly. So during the first court appearance on November 19th, the judge set bond at $10,150, ordered Stacy to have no contact with the victim, and should order the victim to have no contact, although she's not on trial here, but order the victims to stay away from the defendants. Alright, it gotta go both ways in order to clear this up and put some distance between the violence. Again, even a court order can't keep these people away from each other. They'll find themselves back in bed, having more children, going on to marry them, only till death do us part. And some women end up losing their lives. Some men end up losing their lives because they don't want to let the relationship go when they know it's toxic. So, it goes, basically, he had got another charge. I told you in the earlier video that it was a second charge, and he got fined $150 for that one, $10,000 for the first one. I believe it was like assault and battery, and then I don't know. You have to go back to that other one to see. Oh, aggravated battery and criminal mischief. So the aggravated battery was a $10,000 bond. You heard his lawyer said, my client's not that rich. Please be easy on the fine here, okay? And you also heard the judge in that video say that the second charge of the criminal mischief was $450. So that's where it totals the $10,150. And let's see. So Stacy, he finally bonded out of that court proceeding, but the judge had told him, you got to get your passport into me before I let you out of jail. The $10,000 for the one charge, the $150 for the other charge. Stay away from the victim. And he get your address right. He was giving him a boatload of bail bond options, or what do you call it, when he was giving them instructions for bail, like, hey, you can get bonded out because this charge is crazy and bad what you did to her, but you can get a bail, but before you get a bail, I want your passport because you left Oakland, Florida, buddy, and ran and fled and turned yourself in at the airport. So we not trusting that you're going to show back up on these charges. We are not going to let you go until you give us your passport and do XYZ. So that the judge was very adamant about that. Um, so the woman, she testified and he was released from jail on bond. And she was too afraid to return home, which I can imagine. But again, she was home without that camera on for at least a year or two or three beatings prior to this, and wasn't so scared for her life. Something had to happen. And we almost see it in this video where she says, I can't remember what she says, guys, but I'm going to try to insert it in this one. But she says something, and that don't make him strike. But at the point she said something, he strikes.
I did. Listen, things are way different now.
I'm almost certain something happened from the last beating to this beating. Maybe it was another girl. Maybe she got fed up. Maybe she said the next time he put his hands on me, I'm going to have it on camera. But how do you capture that? If it isn't premeditated, this is the camera and getting it on footage. How would you capture somebody hitting you? That's not something you can time, or that's not something you can predict, or unless you have something to do with it. And today I'm turning on my camera. Do come in here with that attitude. I'ma say something smart. He gonna fire off on me, and I got my footage to finally go to the police and make them believe me. Now I ain't saying that's what Miss Evans. What's her name? Kimberly Evans. Hold on, y'all. What is her name? I do believe it's Kimberly Evans. Where was it? Yeah, Kristen. Sorry, Kristen. Actually, that's my daughter-in-law name. Shoot, I'll never forget that again. Kristen. So it's possible, y'all. I just wanted to get this out because, there's a lot of people who, some people believe DV survivors, male or female, and some people don't. Some people believe that DV survivors, male and female, have set their perpetrators up, have lied on people before. The act of hitting someone, you can't not justify that away. It's an act of hitting someone. But then to turn your camera on and catch it, and like I said on the last video, if she has surveillance camera turned on all the time, did it catch any of the other beatings? And why wasn't those footage or those videos turned over to the police? Why haven't she posted anything prior to now if she was really, really, really afraid for her life? So you can't just come on social media and take things for face value. You have to look at these stories and ask the questions most people are afraid to ask and answer, okay? Because I've been asking a lot of questions on this channel, and you guys have not yet to answer one. So with that being said, Luca said during Wednesday's proceeding that the NFL player has changed his address to Alabama, where he has taken up residence with his mother or brother. And this was funny because the judge was like, your passport is in Tennessee. We need your passport before I let you out on bond. At first, he was like, I don't have anybody to get it. Oh, I got the key. My car's in Tennessee. But before that court proceeding was over, his judge, who I'm assuming maybe Luca, said, oh, we can get it to you. We can get it to you by Sunday, Monday. Is the court's going to be open? And the judge was like, we'll be here all the dang on time, honey. So Luca told the court he did not believe Stacy, now residing 2 states away from Evans, posed a threat to her any longer. And this is his attorney going to bat for him. So what do you guys think so far? Now, Stacy told the judge there are no firearms inside of his home. The judge advised the condition of his bond is that he may not be in possession of a firearm. And it was disclosed that Stacy intends to enter a 30-day inpatient treatment facility program and then return home to live with his mother or his brother. And I'm thinking, girlfriend, he just didn't want to say it in the courtroom. Because that probably would have gave everybody a reason to believe this is why they're having spousal problems or issues in their relationship, right? Allegedly. So Stacy's attorney is Thomas Luca. Yep. And he told CNN Wednesday that the inpatient treatment program he will enter on December 1st. Oh, that's when we start the book of Galatians. Okay. All right. And he's gone for mental health. And again, a lot of this all stems from people not being in a healthy place mentally. And that's, I believe, is a disconnection from God spiritually. And it could be some low serotonin levels, absolutely. But nonetheless, it's mental health for sure. Whatever you want to call it, however you think it evolves, right? There was mental health in the Bible, but there wasn't no medication for it. It was prayer and fasting. It was calling those demons out. It was doing all kinds of things opposite to what science does and treat people for mental health. So we have his attorney saying he has had ongoing mental health issues for a number of years. This is an inpatient, intensive treatment program for mental health issues, Lucas said over the phone. So I knew it was more to it than just, people wanting to put their hands on people. But again, there's no excuse for putting your hands on people. Even if you're dealing with mental health, there's treatment out there to get your mental more healthier for you not to want to be so angry and short tempered and feeling like the only way you can deal with somebody is physically beat them into submission and control. So the judge reminded Stacy an important condition of his bond is that he have absolutely no contact with the victim, including through her family members, social media, homeboys, homegirls. Y'all knock it off. Y'all are never going to get the help or get healed the way you need to if y'all keep playing these games with going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth. You cannot do that. If you really fear for your life and you want to live, the first time somebody put their hands on you is the first time you should reject it, leave, and don't go back. There's men and women out here that don't hit people, don't beat people, don't abuse people, don't mistreat people. If you can learn to be by yourself until that person comes along, you'll be in a better place. But as long as you stay in that relationship with these people, you'll never get the opportunity to feel greatness inside of somebody who wants the best for you and not the worst for you. So, although Blackman denied Evans' request to increase Stacy's bond, and would not order home confinement, he did add a condition to the former NFL player's bond that he could no longer enter the state of Florida unless traveling for a court appearance. Blackman cited Stacy's willingness to appear in court Wednesday morning as the reason for denying Evans' request. And again, it's like when women get in court with men and vice versa, it's a weapon. It's a tool now. And they play it to their advantage. And sometimes judges can recognize that and will deny the request of Evans, who want this man to stay out of the state of Florida unless there's a court appearance. Blackman also cited Stacy's willingness to appear in court Wednesday morning as the reason for denying Evans' request. So judges recognize game as well and will deny some requests, okay? So Luca said he and his client were awaiting word on what changes or charges. Oh, this was funny. This part right here. The judge, he was like, well, why you didn't turn yourself in? Well, we was waiting on the warrant. Well, we was just waiting to see what things is. We knew there was something, but we was waiting, the warrant to get in the system or whatever. Guys, the whole court proceeding was kind of funny and crazy. Long, dried out, and boring as well. But it is what it is, right? So, yeah, that's basically it, guys. In a nutshell, there's no date set for a new arraignment yet. And as things come down the pipeline, I will definitely try to keep you guys in the loop. And with that being said, the ex girlfriend, Kristen Evans, of former NFL player Zac Stacy, testifies she fears for her safety after violent assault caught on camera. And guys, yes, there was a violent assault. But after that, before that, was it premeditated? This is to catch it on camera. I mean, I don't think women just sit around and premeditate or think about somebody premeditating and hitting them all day, every day. But this specific incident right here, having it on camera, having these beatings before, having issues before, having called the police before, with none of it on footage, none of it caught on camera. So is it possible this woman says, I'm gonna get the next one on camera? By right, you should. You should. I mean, it's proof that it's happening. Where's the proof from before? And why wasn't that offered up? Why wasn't that presented to the judge? Why wasn't that presented to the police? So some people are speculating that this one was presented because she turned that camera on, and while she had him in her presence, because he might have been a man running in and out the house and not really staying home. Well, I got him here now. Let me do this. And women, we know, men, we know how sneaky and conniving and manipulative people can be. So, what do you think about this whole entire situation? Again, let me know if the updates were good. There is a second child involved. Not too sure if he's the father of both of them, but I do know he's at least the father of one of them. Um, yeah, and she missed the court date. So, what do you guys feel about that? How come women go and men go to the extremes to get people in the court system, and then they sometimes don't follow through? So with that being said, and when they do follow through, they try to, now that they got the court's attention and now that they're in the system, use it to their advantage and weaponize the system to go after the person even harder. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Thank you so much. God bless you and shalom.